Yo, 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 it's your boy Fuck Off. If I ever do that intro, I want you to unsubscribe. Hello there. That's more my appropriate intro, and many people will probably comment, General Kenobi. But I'm okay with that. Welcome to what is going to be a few online battles, and I'm going to talk about a bunch of random shit. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is no formation. I'm experimenting with playing with no formation. After doing the Why You Suck video on formation, and telling people that they need formations, I've been experimenting and thinking, do we really need formations? Or am I just chatting shit? So I'm going to try, I attempted to find out in some online battles. I've been using the greenskins pretty much exclusively for this, to be honest. And yeah, my units are just a bit all over the place. There's a rough degree of organization, like my cavalry are all over on this side. I'm not mixing my cavalry in. So I do kind of have a front line, but it's just spaced out weirdly and there's other units mixed in. Now facing the Empire, this guy has a lot of troops. He's got a lot of troops hidden in the trees over there. So a lot of infantry. Not much on his left-hand side though, but a bunch of spearmen, halberds, some swordsmen there, more halberds, Sons of Sigmar. So he's got a bit of a kind of holding front line, it seems like. Like he wants to try and hold me off, as most of those units are pretty well designed for holding. And it seems like maybe he wants to try and flank around with all this. He's got a bunch of Free Company militia. He might try and shoot me all in the back. I feel like that's his plan, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what he was doing. But he's definitely tried to match me in numbers, it seems like. Whether that's a good idea or not remains to be seen. But yeah, I got to asking myself the question, whilst making that formation guide video, I was like, well, do we really need formations? If I just move up towards the enemy and rearrange my army to match whatever they're putting in front of me, would that not make more sense? Does that work the same? Does it work better? So that's what I came into these online battles trying to find out. And I've been trying to get back into online battles and trying to get my game back up, as I used to play kind of a couple every night, but I haven't really played them properly for a long time. So I'm trying to get back into it, and these battles are just some of the ones I played the other night. None of them are fantastic battles, to be honest, but that's kind of something I wanted to talk about, but we'll get to that later on. So I'm approaching the enemy army now. My cav is coming heavy around the right side through the trees. I'm not sure if he has any idea that they're there, because, well, I think he's just spotted some. But he doesn't seem to be making a great effort to try and stop all that cavalry. So, charging up. Going to try and get 2-on-1 on the better units on the halberds, so we can try and mash through them, as they're going to be a bit tougher to get through. And then hopefully we can break this front line and just start pushing through and obliterating everything. But yeah, it looks like this guy, he's brought a lot of units to try and match my numbers perhaps. And because most of his units are holding units, I could only figure out that his game plan was to hold me in place and then flank around with all this, like I mentioned. But because I discovered his Free Company militia, maybe it messed him up. He wasn't really moving much at this point. Gonna drop a foot of Gork on these great swords. Whip half their health off. Very nice. So yeah, just engaging now. Trying to get the 2-on-1 on the better units, like I said. Trying to ignore these Sigmar Sons because it's going to take forever to get through them, but they try to come after me a little bit. He's got an Empire Captain supporting those swordsmen. He's left himself very short on his left-hand side, which means it's easy for me to flank round. I've got Wolf Riders tying up spearmen there, just to keep them from going after my proper cavalry. They're all preparing to come around and absolutely destroy everything. So it's looking bleak for the Empire, as they have a lack of stuff on one side. They've got a ton of stuff on their right side, but none on their left, which is where all my cavalry is. So it's kind of bad luck for him that I've positioned on the side where he isn't. You can see all my cavalry coming in the back there. I dropped an effigy of the Git on these great swords just to keep them out of the fight, and to allow me to get some charges in on them where they cannot move. So a typical overrunning sort of army from the Greenskins, and this is something I've really been enjoying lately. Absolutely just overwhelming people. These are the armies I enjoy the most: the Skaven, the Greenskins, Beastmen, just overwhelming factions. And this is something that I think maybe makes my online battles and the way I play maybe not as exciting as they could be. Because I play very aggressively, I push on people very quickly, I just literally start moving towards the enemy as soon as the battle starts. I don't really hang around and skirmish with missiles or artillery, I just get stuck into people and usually try to overrun them. That's often my game plan. Not always, but often. And most of the online battles I show is probably that game plan. So maybe it's not that fun to watch. Maybe because it's over so quickly and there isn't a lot of kind of back and forthness to the battle, it's not as entertaining to watch. One of my most commented battles where people say, this was a great battle, it was actually one of my very first Warhammer 1 online battles that I ever showed. It was me as the Empire with an ally of Bretonia. It was a 2v2. This guy really needs to form up and create a line here, by the way, just back to the battle. He needs to put some spears to protect all his missiles, but he's not. I think he's gradually doing that, but he's still left a big hole for me to get after his missiles. But yeah, that Warhammer 1 battle I was just talking about, I was the Empire. I was with a Bretonian ally who had a ton of trebuchets, if you remember. We were against the vampires, I think. And it was just a really long battle, I think. There was a lot of kind of mini skirmishes going on, a lot of little fights around before the main fight went down. People really seem to enjoy that. That kind of more skirmishy, more like a battle rather than something that's over in, 2 minutes. Because you just overrun and ran straight up to your opponent and smashed them to pieces, which is what I normally try to do. So I put this question to you: what kind of stuff do you like to see in online battles? Because I've decided I think I do want to keep doing online battles. I've talked before about stopping doing them because I don't enjoy the quick play community and stuff. But I will probably still do some games in quick play and play some people in my Discord and try to get some really good battles. But I want to know what it is that you people as viewers like to watch as online battles. And that's going for anyone. For me, for any other channels you watch that do online battles, what is it you like about them? Do you like to learn stuff from them? Do you like to just watch a great battle? Do you like to know about different builds? Do you like to know about the meta of the online battle world? Let me know what it is that interests you. I'm curious because I'm always looking to improve my content. And my online battles are more of a relaxed thing, so they're never really my best content, but I'm always looking to improve. So I like to know what people are thinking so I can best choose the path for where I want to take my online battles. Whether I want to do what I've done before, whether I want to change them up and make them more informative in some way, or just better battles, try and set up better battles with better people. I don't know. I want to know what you people like to see though, because I do enjoy playing online battles, as they really are the better way to play the game. Because the AI isn't great, you don't really get great kind of tactical battles when you play the AI. So you have to play people to get that. So that's one of the big reasons I'm kind of sticking around with playing online battles. But I'd like to improve my videos of online battles, so let me know your thoughts. Pretty much smashed the Empire here. They really had no hope trying to match me in numbers with their infantry, because their infantry just can't stand up to Greenskins' infantry. Now let's move on to a fight with the Dwarves. Now this is Greenskins against Dwarves. Normally this is a counter pick that people seem to like to do. When I choose Greenskins, they choose Dwarves. But me and this guy actually chose our factions at the same time. We both changed, so I thought that's fine, I'll stick with it. I'll play against the Dwarves, see what I can do. Now my game plan with this one, something I wanted to talk about with this one, was I'm really into the Greenskins at the moment, and I've been playing a lot with Savage Orc Biggins. So I wanted to see how they'd fare against Dwarves. Now this guy's army, I felt like he was hiding something because it didn't seem like that much. He's got the Grumbling Guard, got some Quarrelers, some Dwarf Warriors, Miners. He's got Thorgrim with a Runesmith, some more Miners, Artillery, a couple of Slayer units over here. So he's got a pretty mixed bag of troops. Didn't feel like that was all his money though. I felt like maybe I was missing something. So I started to scan around with Azag. I brought Azag because I didn't want to be stuck in a one-on-one fight with the Dwarf Lord. Grimgor could probably take some on, but it was a bit risky because Grimgor can't really get away from anything. And if he comes after him heavily, could be trouble. So I've got a lot of Savage Orc Biggins. I wasn't sure how they'd fare against Dwarves because obviously they're not an armor-piercing unit really, but they have 40 melee attack and then another 8 melee attack when they have Frenzy for the first 50% of their health. And you can get the War ability to drop another 26 or whatever it is. So they get a ton of melee attack. And they have a pretty good charge bonus, which also adds on to their melee attack. So they can do a shice ton of damage to any enemy infantry. So that's what I'm going to try and find out. But this guy, in typical quick play, honourable champ fashion, I thought he was heading for the corner. I thought he was going to go in corner camp when he saw all my cavalry. But no, I think he realised that that's a bit too far. I'm not going to be able to make it there. They'll catch up with me. So I'll just use the back border instead. Like a champ, he moves back to use the back border. At least I can only assume that's what he's doing. Maybe he's just trying to get in space so he can see a bit better. But probably not. He's probably just being a dick sock. So I nearly just left because I really don't have time for people who play like this. This is where I was just sat here deciding, do I want to continue? And thought, you know what, fuck it. I reckon I can smash this army. This army didn't look that great. I thought I could definitely smash it to fucking pieces. So that is what I attempt to do. So I had some Night Goblins actually. They were kind of my front line. I brought them to try and absorb blasting charges because I assumed there would be some, like so. As that seems to be a big thing right now. People are really enjoying miners with blasting charges. Apparently they're amazing. I'm not quite convinced. They're doing a lot of damage to goblins, but the goblins were there to protect my Savage Orc Biggins, which they have done pretty well, eating up those blasting charges, because they've only got a few blasting charges. But going to get involved, going to start attacking these Dwarf Warriors that are slightly upgraded, see how well that can do. I dropped a Fate of Una on the Grumbling Guard, and tried to attack them a bit with Azag, but some Slayers came over, preparing my cavalry on that side. Coming around the right side, see some Slayers, going to try and tie them up with the old Biggins and get my Trolls in. So I'm using them to kind of screen for the Trolls so that Trolls can get through without having to worry about being chased down by Slayers. Doing the same thing here, charging in one of my cavalry units into the Slayers just to tie them up. I know that unit's going to die, but my other 3 units you can see, they have free reign to just come around the sides and get everywhere else. and the Slayers are going to be tied up and busy for a little while, giving us time to just absolutely overrun the Dwarven backline. So coming heavy into the front line. These Biggins not doing too great against those Slayers. They are the Dragonback Slayers though. Dropping a foot of Gork on the Longbeards. Managed to rout probably my own unit more than I did them though. Thorgrim's coming in. Got some Night Goblins I need to return to the battle. But coming around the back now with the cavalry. The Sacrificial Boar Boys have been defeated by the Slayers, but that's fine. That's given us time to rout these miners. Going to start harassing those Rangers and missiles. Getting the artillery here. So just overrunning with the cavalry round the back. Now another thing I must mention is that this will be my last video for maybe a week or so. Because I'm moving house tomorrow, so I'm not going to have any time. And I won't have the internet again until the 15th of this month, which is like 6 days from today. So yeah, I won't be uploading anything for about a week, so I do apologize, but I do have a very exciting video coming for you next week. I can't tell you what it is, but just know there's some good stuff coming. And that applies to Twitch as well. I'm not going to be streaming as I won't have any internet. And if you didn't already know that I stream on Twitch, then now you know. The link is in the description if you wish to check it out. I'll probably be streaming a bit more moving into this new place, and I may even get an actual schedule for streaming. You never know. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. But yeah, I'm mostly doing campaigns on stream at the moment. That is what I'm enjoying right now. I've got a good Wurzag campaign going. And sometimes I do play online battles against random people or against people from the Discord or people in the chat in the Twitch. So if you want to come and maybe try to smash my face in, that will be your opportunity to do so. Anyway, we've overrun the dwarves here. It seems that Savage Orc Biggins aren't too bad at smashing dwarves. Just trying to get Thorgrim dead. He's a pain in the ass. Azag nearly went down in this battle, but he managed to survive. That could have been detrimental. And as for our Savage Orc Biggins, some of them doing pretty well in the kills. Not easy to kill dwarves. So it's a question of, does that melee attack trump the armor and melee defense of the dwarves, which it seemed to do okay. They didn't get a ton of kills, but actually the cavalry did most of the killing, interestingly. One more battle. Greenskins versus Beastmen. Similar sort of idea, although this one a bit mixed up again. I got some Savage Orcs, I got a lot of units. Again, in that previous battle against the dwarves, I was again testing the random no formation sort of thing. And again, I'm doing it in this one, just mixed up all over the place. The other thing about this is it's kind of a tactic in itself, because it kind of makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. Right, when you see someone with an army like this that's just an absolute mess, you think, what a noob, this is going to be easy. And then maybe they'll take it easy on you in the battle, because they think they're going to be fine, and then you just smash them. Maybe that's kind of an element with this build, which is kind of interesting, or this formationlessness. But yeah, playing mind games with people. It's always fun. Now this guy has charged his Minotaurs into Savage Orc Biggins, which is just a questionable decision. First of all, why would you even do that? These are an anti-large unit. Bring them around. Look at all this room. You've got all this room in the world to come around and smash my non-anti-large units. So this is a mistake that I see a lot of people make. They just don't seem to care that their big, expensive units are in bad matchups with things that are just going to hurt them too much. Like, Minotaurs might be able to beat Savage Orc Biggins in a one-on-one fight, but they're going to take a shice ton of damage. Those Minotaurs could be flanking around the back, getting some hammer and anvil, cycle charging even, on some of these Biggins, just to do that damage. But he just charged them straight in. I'm going to come around the side with my cavalry again. Got the Biggins into these Minotaurs as well. So there's kind of all these mistakes that people are making. And with my Discord, as I mentioned, I have a Discord, links in the description if you want to check it out. I'm trying to make an online community there of people who can play good, fair games and don't have to worry about cheese. And also, going to start a thing soon where certain people on the server will be classed as kind of like mentors. And if you're new to the game and you're really struggling and you want some help and you want someone who can identify what you're doing wrong and tell you the mistakes you're making so you can fix them, that's what these people are going to be for. So you can play one of these mentors on the Discord and then you'll be able to hopefully improve and take something away from it. So yeah, if you're looking to get better, join my Discord and hopefully we'll have a program in place so people can kind of get involved and try to get into the world of online battles, because it can be a daunting world to just jump into quick battles or even custom battles, as it can be quite a daunting world to move into. Especially as the quick play ladder community of Total War isn't great. It's a bit toxic. There's a lot of cheesy bastards that'll bring stuff that will just be annoying for you to try and fight, that you just don't want to have anything to do with. Don't even waste your time with those people. So my Discord is a place where you can try and avoid that, especially if you're new, because that is not a good learning environment at all when you've got some loser calling you a noob who brought like some ridiculous, unfair, stupid army. I had a guy the other day, I know, it was in this, when I was trying to get these online battles. I played about 6 or 7 battles, this is 3 of them. I was playing Greenskins against Lizardmen, and the guy brought nothing but Skink Skirmishers, the ones that run away and can shoot while moving, and Pterodons. That was it. So he spent the entire battle just running away with his Skink Skirmishers from my infantry and flying Pterodons around. I played the battle for about 30 seconds, so I was like, nah, This is just a waste of time. This is just pathetic that someone would even attempt to do this as a strategy. And that's the type of thing that makes the online community fucking terrible. So get away from that. Me Discord, better people. Anyway, this battle, I haven't really said anything about this battle, but the guy was doing a pretty good job of keeping my cavalry away with his spears earlier. But ultimately, his Minotaurs have been worn down from fighting Biggins. My cavalry has started to come around and hammer and anvil his stuff, so he's really out of options. It's still pretty close, but the favour is starting to sneak into mine, as I've just routed those Minotaurs. The other ones are gone. There's a few Warhounds left, but they're not a big worry. The Spearmen are so far out of position now that they're not really a threat. They're going to take them a while to get back to the fight, so this one's pretty much over. But yeah, fighting formationless actually seems to work relatively well. I'm not going to say that these were top level players or anything, but it seemed to work on them at least, so it can potentially work a good amount of the time. It can present that confusion and maybe make it a little bit harder for people to figure out what you're doing with your army if you have no formation. But anyway, there we go. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something else I was going to mention, but yeah, won't be around for a while. Got a video coming next week though, going to be really exciting. Check out my Discord if you want to get into online battles. Check out my Twitch if you want to watch me do stuff. Let me know what you like about online battles and what you look for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future. Bye.